Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make a snow globe animation in Procreate. Now I'm going to do this with my background off so that I can use a white outline that you'll be able to see better. So I'm going to go to the layers menu, uncheck the background color. This also makes it a transparent background if you were to export it as a PNG file. I'm going to get white. The brush I'm using is the script brush under calligraphy. So I'm going to start by making the outline of the dome or the globe itself. I'm just going to draw a rounded shape and I'm going to hold it at the end and let Procreate kind of clean it up for me. Then I'm going to close. Next I'm going to draw an ellipse at the bottom. That's kind of like the base of the snow globe. I'm going to again hold and let Procreate clean it up. And I'm going to get a brown color. That's going to be the base of the snow globe. It could be any color you want. I'm just going to draw the two edges, curve it around. And now I have that bottom base and the globe itself. So for the base at the bottom, you know what, I don't like that edge there. That's better. I'm going to do everything else on a different layer. So I'm going to make a new layer. And while I have that bottom base, I'm just going to color that in. And I'm going to use my base color first. And this layer is under the outline so that if I go up to the edge of the white, you won't really see it because it'll be underneath. I'm going to color this whole entire base. I'm going to get a darker shade of that color and I'm going to make the sides darker. And this does not have to be neat because we're going to use a blur to kind of blur it out. So I'm going to leave a little lighter space there, put a little dark. And then darken the edge here. I get even one last dark. Do the very edge. Put a little bit there. Now I'm going to go up to the adjustments menu, Gaussian blur, and I'm going to slide it to blur that. And then I'm going to grab the blur tool, the finger tool, and actually do a little bit of blurring by hand. And I'm actually going to get a very light, almost white shade of that brown. And put it right there. And get the blending tool and just blend that in. Okay. Now I'm going to grab the eraser. And if I turn that background on, you might see that there's a little bit of blur that got outside the edge. I'm just going to erase that because we don't want anything outside the edge there. Not too much this time. So I'm going to add another layer. Turn my background off again. Going to get the white, and in the globe I'm going to color the left side almost like it's a sphere, which it is actually. It's just a glass sphere. I'm not going to worry about going over the edge right now. I'm going to bring in, I'm not going to color the whole thing. And I'm going to do a little bit on the lower right hand corner here. And just like with the base, I'm going to hit that with a Gaussian blur. And I really want to blur it out. And now you'll see that a lot got over the edge here, so I'm going to erase that. Too much there. You see I'm messing up with the edges there a little bit. I'm just going to take the blend tool and blend those edges in. Okay, so now I have the basic globe, but I'm going to go back to that layer with the white, tap the N to get the effects to pop up, and I'm going to make the opacity very light so it's transparent. About 40%. I'm going to make another layer. On this layer, I'm going to go into the globe and actually draw what the base is going to be. So maybe it's a winter scene, maybe it's a snow scene, maybe you're in outer space. It could be basically whatever you want. I'm just going to make a winter scene. So I'm going to make some snow on the ground. And we made that transparent, that blur layer transparent, so that it just looks like glass and you can see through it. I do want to do one more thing to that layer, which I forgot. So I'm going to take white with a very small brush. Oops, that's the eraser. Actually, I want to do this on a new layer. So I want to draw a reflection on the glass, so it looks like it's got light shining off of it. So I'm just going to draw a little glare. I'll put a tiny one down here. So back to my base. And like I said, you can do this any way that you want. I'm just going to make it a snow scene with a snowman on it. So I'm going to fast forward here so that we can get to the point where we can add the snow. so I'm gonna just leave the snow globe like this. But in order to make it a snow globe, we need to have some snow falling in it. So we're gonna use animation. So before we do that, we're gonna group all of these layers together. So I'm just gonna drag each layer, drag them together into a group. And I'm going to go to Actions, Canvas, turn on Animation Assist. And that layer, if we kept all these layers separate and not in a group, each layer would become a frame in the animation. But by putting them into a group, that group becomes one frame in the animation. And I want that frame to be the background. So I'm going to tap the frame, hit background. So now that frame will show up in every picture. So I'm going to get some white. I'm going to take my brush. Now you might want to use this Flicks brush, which is under spray paint. And using white, I'm going to kind of start out small. I'm going to add a frame. Let's get a little bigger. And I'm just going to cover the whole thing with Flicks, which will look like snow. Now the snow that got on the outside, I'm just going to erase. Now you can make this very meticulous in every frame, move every snowflake if you want to. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to add another frame. Add some more flicks so they'll be randomly placed in each new frame. Again, erase the extra. And another frame, same thing. Now those frames you're seeing left behind the snow is from the onion skin effect, which you can turn on or off by going to settings and onion skin frames. You can also limit how many onion skins you see. Also, while I'm here, I'm going to drop the frames per second down to about 6 because I find that works good. Just realized there might be some extra snow down here. So if I hit play, you can see the snow going through. You can make as many frames as you want. I'm just going to stop it there at 3. And like I said, if I wanted to export this and share it as a ping file, because I'm not doing it on the background, it'll be transparent. If I wanted to have a background, I could go back, of course, turn the background layer on, and maybe tap the color there and change the color maybe to like a snow blue or a dark blue. That looks kind of nice. And I can make it an animated GIF, animated ping, animated MP4, and export it, and then send it to people or do whatever I want with it. So that's how you make an animated snow globe in Procreate. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Stuck with it till the end. Thanks for subscribing. Check out my other Procreate tutorials, and I'll see you next time.